27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Playing Baker, Farmer will put it up, throws over the middle. Cool, touchdown. Great play.
That's away. Double snap is away. Trying to center off to Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
From behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow! Edwards pulls up and buries the play. Richardson tries, out for Robbie Ryan. Hurt three right on the money. Daniels takes his shot for Derby. Flag out.
What is up, all? Welcome on into Pitchfork Lunch. I hope everybody had a phenomenal holiday and celebrate Hanukkah, Christmas. I was gonna say Kwanzaa. Oh my goodness. But I hope everybody had a phenomenal holiday with the families last weekend. We're set for the new year. And yes, we are back here on Pitchfork Lunch. I am Michael Caratino at Diablo00 on X, artist formerly known as the Twitter, as you guys all know. Apologies for the late start. I guess my laptop, this is a new one for me, guys, because there are times I've done stuff, but the clock on my laptop advanced itself somehow. And yeah, I kept hit reset clock and it wouldn't do it. So I couldn't schedule the show. And then when I did it again another time, it worked. Hence off to a little bit of a late start today, but our first day back, and literally it's absolutely awesome just due to the fact that the Devils are in Atlanta. We're going to hear from some players, maybe coaches today, but we're going to hear from some players as they took off. And yes, they are in Atlanta. Final prep for this game, which they obviously have been chomping at the bit to play, as we all know. And guess what? It is very exciting. I will be there at the game. I talked about a little bit of a speed bump last time, but I will be at the game New Year's Day. So I'm very excited about that, obviously, and the Devils' path there. But man, what a week it's been. Again, watching bowl games and obviously NFL too, but watching college bowl games and to see, again, just always loving bowl season. Plus, with all that's going on, in college hoops too. I mean, that getting going today. Obviously, the for ASU, my Pitchfork Lunchers, the women are playing at Mullet Arena, so kind of getting in on that mullet magic, as Coach Powers has said, but Coach Van Neal for volleyball. So the mullet magic, baby. They'll be playing, the women's hoops team will be playing Penn over there right when we get off the air at 1 o'clock. So it is very very awesome. Yeah, it is very awesome that they're playing over in Mullet Arena. So the women, again, trying to get back on track. Men obviously have some games coming up, and it's been 43. This is insane. It's been 33 days, I want to say, since the women have played at home. And that to me is, I mean, that's just crazy. In this day and age of, 43 days back at home for the first time playing a home game. I mean, obviously, they're here practicing, but home game in 43 days. And in this day and age of sports, I mean, it's not like, we're talking about professional hoops teams that, go on like a, 12-day road trip or, 7-game road trip, 10-game road trip. Like it's never usually like that. But man, it has been a minute. They're going to be back at Mullet Arena. So again, Coach Natasha Adair and her crew getting ready for their game against Penn. But yes, I need to digress. I got a little excited there. But I am Michael Carcino at Diablo00 on X, the artist formerly known as, the Twitter. You can see the show live there every day, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1. Also, my IG, you guys know this, michael.carcino.5. Also, YouTube. You can watch live on YouTube, again, like I remind you every day, but subscribe to the YouTube channel, Pitchfork Lunchers. Any interviews you've missed, and again, leading up to the bye week on practice, I mean, you miss offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo, O-line coach Saga Tuitele, missed him, a lot of sound, players, everything. So again, go to YouTube. You see my name, Michael Carcino, but it's M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ, 005, at MVC005 on YouTube, and subscribe. Also, obviously, again, anything you miss is there. And also, hitting up again tomorrow. But you can now listen to Pitchfork Lunch if you are driving around the valley or anywhere, because it is on the best internet radio station on the web, the Casual Sports Radio Network. So those of you watching, you can see across the bottom of the screen, but you can tell your friends that aren't able to watch, or if you're driving, run it through your Bluetooth. So all you have to do, the Casual Sports Radio Network, go to www.ksrnaz.com and click Listen Live. And once you do that, go to ksrnaz.com, page will open up, go down to Listen Live, bam, click play, Monday through Friday, 12 to 1, Pitchfork Lunch in the house. Wednesday won't be a show live, just a heads up because of the game, and I shall be in Atlanta, and when the game kicks off, it'll be during the game. So obviously not doing my show during the game, as I shall be there. So that being said, but post game, I got to talk to Earl. I'll be streaming a post game, and got to talk to Casual E. But and we'll see if we can get that on the good old airways of the Casual Sports Radio Network. But in general, Monday through Friday, again, and you want to talk about comprehensive coverage of the Suns, the Cardinals. Yes, I know, tough loss for the Cardinals, playoff eliminated. We know. Yes, a lot of people messaging me, but again, Niners fans, you can sit there and say stuff like that, but you're not going anywhere either. So nonetheless, but the Cardinals, the Suns, the D-backs, the Mercury, and now Pitchfork Lunch is there. So again, follow their socials, stay up to date. Absolutely awesome what Casual E is doing there. But again, just go to Casual Sports Radio Network. It's www.ksrnaz.com. Click Listen Live, and our page will open up. Go down and click Listen Live to play Monday through Friday. Again, side note today, again with the late start, that is, but tomorrow, and then yeah, be up tomorrow. So anyway, nonetheless, again, check it out. And so stoked to have you here. So, but yeah, I mean, guys, the Peach Bowl, these matchups, I mean, Cam Scatterby's getting talked about a lot. There is just such, I love these supposed analysts that used to play the game. And it's only about, you know, oh, these big schools like, yeah, okay, Ohio State beats, Tennessee handily, and Ohio State this and that. Look, Oregon beat them once, and the excuse was, they didn't do this, they didn't do that. Well, who caused that? Because I don't think it was all just penalties, but nonetheless, it's all this ASU and belonging, and they need to reseed. Why do they deserve a bye? Not all conferences and schedules. Yeah, well, when you talk about that, why don't you, instead of saying they're cream puff games, certain members of the media, as you do, analysts, as you do, it's pretty sad in this day and age. Again, like I've said from the beginning, Pitchfork Lunchers, you know this, forks up to this. It's supposed to be hard. Like they started the whole undefeated thing because the conversation grew and grew and grew over time because of just the playing teams with the lack of depth that they have. And everybody does it. It's not all rainbows and unicorns, guys. Pitchfork Lunchers, you've heard me pick on, you know, before this year, the Pac-12, you know, in the past, ASU. I mean, there was a time when Pete Carroll actually didn't do it, but yet when he was at USC, there was a few times that they were like one of like 5 schools that didn't play an FCS team in their out of non-conference play. But you know, they have to do that because there's always an excuse. It's supposed to be hard. Nonetheless, ASU does deserve a Pitchfork Lunchers. I am smiling because you know it. And we are going to hear from Lee Fontanu and Cam Scatterby. Some of you may have seen it, a lot of you may have not, but I'm going to we'll hear from them, and then we will also hear from Sam Levitt. So I am going to step aside real quick. And then look, and then we'll mention more. Obviously, the Texas team is very good. I've talked about it. I've already mentioned it before break, and a lot of you have seen it. Like they take the damn ball away. They lead the nation in turnover differential. So like and ASU doesn't turn the ball over. Like Texas is big. They're physical. Nothing but respect for them, and you know, respecting your opponents. But ASU belongs, and I'll just, you know, keep having to show it. So, but we'll step aside when we get back. We're going to hear from Lee Fontanu and Cam Scatterby on obviously getting ready for this game, their season, and just kind of their thoughts of this Texas team. So we'll step aside and have more Pitchfork Lunch coming right up.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it was another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the sound of a racing heart. It's beating a little faster because it belongs to a young child. But this child isn't in the middle of a close soccer game or playing with her puppy in the yard. Her heart is racing because she's just been told she has to move foster homes again. Change a child's story. There's a child waiting for a volunteer like you. Learn how you can help at casaforchildren.org. This is the
Got a big painting project you've been putting off because you don't think you can afford it? Well, it's time to call the team at Customer First Solutions. Customer First is your one-stop shop for all home repairs, from full interior and exterior painting to handyman services, drywall repair, electrical, and plumbing. Customer First has the most competitive prices in the Valley. Your flat rate quote is based on the square footage of your home, and that includes wall repair. All Customer First technicians are licensed, bonded, and fully background checked for your assurance. Call or text Customer First Solutions at 480-877-0255 for your free quote. Customer First Solutions, where our customers and their homes are our first priority.
KSRN has an inside track on all things sports, with topics and opinions from former players and local personalities. Catch 15-year NFL veteran Ed Smith and Jay Adams on Easy Sports Talk every Saturday.
Unfortunately, with this back and these knees, I don't quite have that ability, or at least I use.
For all things Arizona Cardinals, tune in Monday nights with Casual E and Sean McConnell.
Bird Gang, I know it was another tough loss, but keep encouraged. We miss you, BA.
And now you can exclusively listen to former Arizona Cardinal Jeremy Bridges on his show, JB and Benny Blue Review.
Exactly.
Don't be dumb.
Sending a message out to the world.
Always relaying that message. Don't be dumb.
Yes, your guy, Benny Blue, comedian extraordinaire.
Exclusively on KSRN, Casual Sports Radio Network.
All right, welcome back into Pitchfork Lunch. Yes, I am Michael Caratenuto at Diablo00 on X, artificially known as a Twitter. Hit me up there. Also, my IG, Michael.Caratenuto.5. The YouTube channel, M as in Michael, V as in Victory, C as in Champ 005 at MVC005 on YouTube. Subscribe. And yes, the Casual Sports Radio Network. Go to www.ksrnaz.com, and yes, starting tomorrow, just want to get that out there too, restarting up tomorrow, you will be able to hear Pitchfork Lunch from 12 to 1. So that is very awesome. But again, go to www.ksrnaz.com and check that out. So like I said before the break, though, I want to get to it. Let's hear from Sun Devils center, who's just, again, offensive line healthy this year. Yes, knock on wood. We all know this. Pitchfork Lunchers, my Sun Devil Nation peeps, we all know this, yes, staying healthy, huge thing. This line has done a phenomenal job. I mean, Lee Fontanu, Ben Coleman, Josh Atkins, Max Ianachor, Cade Briggs, Kyle Scott, Emmett Boley, like, again, just phenomenal job. So, but let's hear from them. Enough from me. Let's hear from them. So, from Lee Fontanu and Cam Scattaboo.
Hey guys, Sean Rubino, Devil's Digest. The underdog role is obviously something that's a role that's not familiar to you guys, and I know maybe from the outside looking in, it looks like you guys like really thrive on it. But at some point, does it kind of get old that people doubt you and everything, and you really don't need that for motivation at the end of the day?
No, I don't think so. I think like that motivation of being the underdog, I feel like that's kind of the gas that we use to, playing these types of games. And I feel like that's kind of what fueled us all year, and it's always something new about what's being said about us. And I feel like that's kind of what's continuing to drive this team to, continue to attract people wrong.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't have doubt, you'll never be successful. Because if you think you're successful, then you'll start falling. And I think the doubt that people give to us for free is extremely, motivating to everybody. And like I said, if you have doubt, you'll be successful in life because you're going to constantly want to prove somebody wrong.
Blake Beaman, Sun Devil Sports. Cam, the last time you were on a national stage like this in the Big 12 championship, you made the most of it. What excites you about the opportunity to play Texas on a stage like this in this game?
Yeah, I mean, I get to play another football game. I'm excited for that, and I'll always be blessed to keep playing. And then no matter what happens, hopefully keep playing football games. I'm super excited to be on the field at the highest level against the highest competition. They're going to be a team that we're going to have to fight against the whole game. And, it's something I got to put on my shoulders and understand that, I got a lot of work to do. So, practice has been good and we're ready to go.
Robbie.
Hey guys, Robbie Baker with Fox 10. For both of you, you had the extra time with the bye week, now getting ready to head to Atlanta tomorrow. Does it start to feel any different, any more real or anything like that?
I think it, like for us, we treat it as a normal game week. And I feel like that's kind of how we don't treat any game any bigger or any smaller than it already is, we're one of the last 8 teams in college football for college football playoff. But at the same time, like we do what wins and we treat it the same way we would any other week. So, although we leave tomorrow on a Sunday, to us it's really like another Wednesday practice, so we kind of keep that same process and that same routine that's gotten us to this point.
Yeah, exactly. Dillingham preaches every day, play the game. Don't play the moment. You're not playing the Beach Bowl, Chick-fil-A. You're not playing against Chick-fil-A. You're playing against Texas. You're playing a football game against 11 versus people in front of you. You're not playing anything else. You're not playing against the fans. You're not playing against the other coaches. You're playing against the team in front of you. So I think we've been focused each week. I think that's been something we've been falling on, just making sure that we're not playing the moment, we're playing the game.
Doug, Chris, and then Blake.
Hey guys, Doug Howard with The Athletic. Kenny has preached for the last 2 since he's gotten here that you guys got to work hard, but you're also going to have fun. How much is that ability to kind of keep things loose, keep things light during this run, which have had some stressful moments? How much do you think that has helped you guys get to where you're at?
Yeah, I think that falls on us 100%. Coach Dillingham can make it the hardest practice in the world or the lightest practice in the world, but at the end of the day, we have to take it serious. We could do 7 walkthroughs all week, but if we don't take them serious, it's going to be a joke. We can also take them very serious, and it could be a completely different turnaround. So I think the preparation that players have to have for the mindset of going into a game like this takes a huge role in it because, you know, no matter what we're doing or how we're practicing, everyone has to be locked in. And I think that's a big thing that we have to continue to keep going.
Yeah, I think that the success of this team is because of the leaders of the program. I think the leaders of the program kind of helped us uphold the pillars of the program. You know, like we preach about make good decisions, be a good person, and we're fun working harder than the other country. And we have those pillars instilled in our program, and I feel like a lot of the players have bought into that, and I feel like that's why we're so successful. Where we hold each other accountable. You know, and a lot of people, new transfers that come in, they understand really quickly like what the culture is around this team, and I feel like that's kind of what's separating us at this point.
Chris, Blake, and Jake.
Chris Carton, second source. You guys had a little more time off, so do you guys feel like better physically now? And then how does that help prepare? Like, do you have more into your game plan? Do you think in games like this you might have one more trick plays without revealing anything? But what is different about this game due to having the time off and your health and everything?
I think for us, for especially the O-line, from the O-line perspective, like a lot of us are kind of a little banged up right after the championship game, so we're able to take advantage of, you know, taking that week off and getting our bodies back. So it definitely helped us. A lot of people think that having the bye week, you kind of lose your game shape, if that makes sense, like having your game shape and stuff like that. But I feel like with the week, like last week, we were able to take advantage of practicing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and having a really tough practices to get us back in shape. So we were able to utilize that week to really get our bodies back, but at the same time, ramp it back up the next week and get ready for the game.
Can you repeat it again?
Is there an advantage to having more time to be able to build more into your game plan or be more locked into what you guys are doing?
Yeah, you know, there's a huge advantage. We had 3 weeks off. You don't get that very often, and unless you're playing in the first game of the season. You know, you got a whole full camp to prepare for the first team. But I think the biggest thing is we've been taking it one day at a time, and then we realized who we're playing, and then we started preparing. I don't think the coaches tried to do too much before we knew who we were playing, because that's when you get in your own head and you start thinking way out of the box. And Coach Dillingham preaches to us all the time: if you're doing trick plays, you're probably not, you know, you're probably not feeling very good about winning the game. We're gonna play our game. We're gonna do what we do, come out with the win.
Blake and then Jake.
Looking at this Texas defensive line, physical in front, what are your initial impressions of that, and what's kind of the offensive line mantra to try and counter against them?
Yeah, I think their front seven is a really good group. I think they're very physical, they're very long, you know, they're very talented as well. You know, just off of the depth chart, you have like 6'4", 6'6", like all across the board, you know, and so the offensive line never really stepped down from a challenge, but at the same time, they're physical and we're physical. So, you know, the whole emphasis of this week is to match physicality with physicality. So I think that's kind of our game plan to, you know, go toe-to-toe with Texas. You know, that's kind of our mantra in the offensive line room. You know, they got to face us as well. You know, so I think that's kind of the key for this game, to be physical on the offensive line.
Jake's one of those that I guess you guys, 3 of your last 4 games you've played have come against top 25 teams and the best defenses in the Big 12. What is playing teams like that towards the end of the season do for a game like this against a defense like Texas?
Yeah, I mean, it prepares you, but nothing prepares you for the number 5 rushing defense in the country, unless you're playing the number 4, 3, or 2, or 1. You know, so like I said, we have to continue to make sure we are on top of our stuff, and that we're focused on what we're doing, because we can think about everybody else and how everybody else ran the ball on them, but we don't have those players. We have our players. So I think the biggest thing is focusing on what our O-line can do with our running back, our quarterback, our receivers, and understanding that if we focus on playing our game, we'll be just fine.
Mike.
And then for both of you, to piggyback off that, Cam, what do you feel that
how the offensive line has grown this year has helped your game, and then Leaf, like with what Cam and the running backs have been able to do, how has that helped you guys grow as a group?
For him, I mean, he's an awesome back. You know, like he's very passionate, very emotional, and we kind of feed off of that, and that's kind of what the attitude that we play with as well. You know, the energy that he gives off right before we break the huddle on the sideline, it gives us that much of an edge, you know, that we play with, and I feel like that's kind of what we were able to lean on, you know, late in the season where we play with an attitude and we play with an edge, and I feel like that's kind of what we're feeding off of when we run block for scat.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is, like you said, they feed off my energy. When you see a 220-pound guy run over a 6'6", 300-pounder, what makes you think you can't do it? You know, so that's why I do it. You know, I set the tone from the jump due to the fact that I'm showing them if I can do it, they can do it. And if they're physical, it's possible. And they've done a great job all year, you know, of constantly getting better. They're not the best, but they're getting better every week, which is what matters. And that's why I love playing behind them, because the chemistry between an O-line and a running back has to be there. It has to. And the last 4 months of the season, like the last 4 months of our lives, we've done nothing but connect and get better together. And the way they block and the way I run, they feel the way I run. They know where I'm going to be at. They know how fast it takes me to get to the hole. And then also me too, like I know when those two guys are going to come off that double block to the linebacker. And that's just something that naturally comes. You don't really talk about that. That's the biggest thing that I think has been helping us, just, you know, knowing each other and being able to play with a couple of the guys on the line last year. But the connection between us has been getting stronger, which is why both of us are successful.
Like, I believe you kind of touched on it, but just Cam, for your perspective, what's kind of the internal messaging, motivation that the group as a team is talking about this week? Just another game, or is it something extra this week?
It's always something extra in your own mind, but it's just another game. Like I said, we have to play our game. We have to constantly do what we do. We have to play the same game we played against Wyoming. We have to play the same game we played against BYU. We have to play the same game we played against Utah. Like, we have to play the same football we played all year. And if we do that, we'll be just fine. If we keep this, we either blow it out or we keep the game close. Why not? You know. So if we can play our game and, you know, fight until the end, I think we'll be just okay.
Gary, said 12 years for both of you. Just talking about that, this is an emotional team, a team with heart. You see it from your coach. How much does the passion from the fan base and kind of feeling that surge, I'm sure you guys have felt it these past 3 weeks being off, how much does that play motivation as you guys head to the league?
It helps a lot. You know, like at our banquet, we had the Peach Bowl team there as well. Some of the players and coaches that were there as well. So seeing them, you know, supporting us, going to Atlanta, they've been in the same position we've been in, that we are right now. So it helps to see that those guys care. It helps to see that the alumni cares. And it also helps to see that the community cares. You know, for them to support us to where we are now, it helps a lot. And it's definitely we have a chip on our shoulder to play for those people that support us since day one.
Yeah, exactly. You know, just having the support. The more we win, the more support we're going to have, and you start seeing people come out of the woodworks supporting ASU. I think the last time, a year ago from today, I went to Walmart and I didn't see one ASU shirt. Now I see a whole section and everybody in the store wearing it. So it's awesome, you know, because people are proud to be ASU fans, and that's what we're here for. We don't want to, you know, make people feel like they can't support something, and the fact that we've been succeeding is helping people, and I'm sure it's putting smiles on people's faces, like I say all the time. You know, it makes people happy to see the team they like and actually be able to cheer for them. Awesome. Thank you.
And there they are. I mean, look, everything right there. And they definitely, again, I like what, you know, I like what Leafs, you know, what Cam said, you know, yeah, a running back truck a 320-pound lineman, why can't you, and how they feed off each other. And yeah, I mean, finishing 5th in the Heisman, and the multiple player of the week awards that Scadaboo earned. Yeah, it's behind that line. Yeah, it's some pretty amazing runs, but it's behind that line. And that to me, again, just absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. And like Leaf leading the line, I mean, he is, again, a very physical, very competitive, but man, off the field, when you see, practice and after practice and, locked in, but just the way, his leadership is very, he keeps things loose and, you heard a lot of you Pitchfork Lunch was heard this past spring. I was interviewing CJ Fight and Leaf's like, CJ Fight, he's the best devil. And it just things like that and talking him up and trying to, get him to laugh. And I know, Jacob Rishkangaika does that as well too. I mean, just very up at Leaf, like that line again. And having worked with Coach Arroyo, we talked about this all year long, like knowing him even from the spring, like, and then you have obviously a redshirt freshman quarterback and, getting him comfortable. Yeah, he's got to be able to read things, but, hey, this is how we see it. And Leafs talked about that throughout the year. And then blocking for someone like Cam and Cam saying, these guys, what they're doing and always, the chemistry is built. And yes, it can't be forced, but like you said, Leafs back from last year, Emmett Boley, Kyle Scott, like back from last year. So it's, Cade Briggs, it's guys, and you get used to it. And they've just grown and grown and grown and answered the question many a times, my friends, many a times, as we all know. And like I said, we'll talk more about Texas tomorrow and the matchup because, here on Pitchfork Lunch, it is important. I don't want to just bore you with, the numbers. Like Texas can take the ball away. Texas can run the ball. Quinn Ewers is a damn good quarterback. They have a very good offense. Their defense, again, big and physical, right? We know this. So that being said, it's one of those things where it's very, very exciting matchup. And you heard, there, in order to, we'll hear from Sam Levitt and Xavier Guillory tomorrow, along with offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo as well. Marcus Arroyo as well. But it's just that thought process and, the whole underdog thing, like they were first asked by the first question about. Yeah, and when I asked Coach Dillingham last weekend, I played it, or the week before, and I played it for you. They're just probably sick and tired of being sick and tired about constantly being underdogs. You don't belong, blah blah blah. No, just because you won your conference, somebody with 3 losses should be there instead of you, according to some. But nonetheless, all the teams that were there and that are still there, earned it. So forks up to the Devils. But you love that. I mean, the relationship, yes, with an offensive line and a running back, quarterback run game. But I mean, it's just like they say, the passion that they play with and, knowing they got each other's back. I mean, Cam Scadaboo, you guys remember, said it earlier in the season and playing the sound like, never being, can never, obviously, Kyle Scott went to him and was like, man, he came in and he's like, dude, just keep doing you. You're doing it. If you're giving 100% and you're doing your job, and something you misread, something kind of leaves me, I got you. And if he does something, the linemen have him too. But a leader like Leaf at center, guys, I mean, we've seen what it's produced all year, right? Yeah. So huge difference, huge difference. So. But hey, man, everybody have a that's it. I'm going to get out of here. Like I said, tomorrow we'll hear from offensive coordinator Marcus Arroyo and Sam Levitt and Xavier Guillory as well. So everybody have a most phenomenal rest of your Monday. Again, I hope you had a great celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, but great time with your family, friends. Got to relax and take some enjoy some games, whatever, bowl games, hoops, whatever you were watching. Hopefully you greatly enjoyed it and looking forward to having a fun New Year. So I will see you tomorrow. We're getting ready to leave for Atlanta and yeah, then it's off to the Peach Bowl. So have a phenomenal rest of your Monday, and I will see you tomorrow. And yes, you know it, #OurState. And as always, you know it, Forks Up.
I went to Arizona State. Right. I'm a Sun Devil, man.
27-yard line. That's a great call, too. Blake Baker, Plummer will put it up, throws over the middle. Touchdown. Quick flag.
That's a way. Trying to center off with Eckerly, and he just missed the net. O'Reilly with the shot. Far down, he scored.
Come from behind for a month. Now with the lead, they're getting a little wobbly. Philadelphia, they won't get him. Wow.
Edwards pulls up and buries a flag. Richardson tries, out for Robbie Ryan. Her three right on the money.
Daniels takes his shot for